Okay, now we got action. All right, so welcome everybody to the Beyond the Natural show. This is the show where I am your ghost hunting and UFO spiritual validator. If it isn't natural, it must be beyond the natural. So I haven't did this show in I don't know how long, and we are live at the time of this recording. So those who get a chance to play this back, those who are watching this on Facebook, you ain't gonna get a chance to hear this back because I just played a hell of a lot of copyright music. So you only get this one time and one time only. So you're gonna have to head over to our brand new YouTube channel. We got a YouTube channel. It's not pretty at all. In fact, this is going to be the very first episode that's going over to our YouTube channel. So um, I got to get that housekeeping stuff out the way. And our podcast is still up and cracking, up and lit. So you can check out previous episodes of the Beyond the Natural on our podcast on any podcast app. Support the show by heading over to any podcast app, Spotify, Apple, anywhere. Okay? iTunes, there's so many of them. I can't think of them. But let me get into the content right away. The topic for today is caught UFO sightings over New Mexico. What's going on in New Mexico, man? They got some stuff going on in there. In the subtitle it says, "We're not saying it was aliens, but what else could it be?" It's a look into recent UFO sightings over the northeast corner of New Mexico, man. Yeah. I think our friends are taking a trip over to New Mexico. If my spiritual senses got me correct, I think what the pilot, and we're going to get into who exactly spotted it out first, is onto something, because the spiritual things, when we weigh this in a spiritual sense, it kind of makes sense. There's been a lot of activity in that area, and shout out to my people that's going to be checking this out on Instagram as well. But there's been activity, folks. You my ghost hunting UFO friend that loves to get a hold of this information and just, yeah, they're coming this year. Yeah, they be coming. They're coming. They're gonna make themselves more known and known and known. We know this. We're not crazy. We're not deranged. We're not strange. My friend, we know. They are making themselves known. So back to the article. And this article comes from the discovery.com. So you can check this article out by heading over to discovery.com/space/caught UFO sighting over of New Mexico. Or you can just search the title, "Caught UFO Sighting over of New Mexico." And it's a great, well-written article by my friend Kizzy Laporte. I love it. Yeah, I was plowing into it, but he kind of left out some stuff though. I'm not really digging out how he kind of glazed over some stuff, and it's like, come on, just give it to us the way that we need to give it to us. And by the way, folks, if you are watching down below me or listening, you can buy me a gyro. I love gyro sandwiches. I am a Greek lover of food. So buy me a gyro or a milk if you enjoy this content by going to paypal.me/mheart414. And that's heart without the E. Buy me one. I love them. They're delicious. So American Airlines flight 2292. And there goes some sweet background music for you to serenade you. That's my reminder. that are supposed to be recording this. And boy, am I buzzing all over the place. Just to stop that for you real quickly. So American Airlines flight 2292. And they says with service from Cincinnati to Phoenix. So this thing was going over to Phoenix. So right away, what jumps out to me, and we're using spiritual validation to kind of break this thing down, to kind of validate why this may or may not be true, why this may be a spoof, why we might be being spoofed, why we may just be being punked. Shout out to Aston Kuster. Another punk situation here. It may not have happened at all. But I'm under the belief right away. What jumps out to me is the 2292 and the AA American Airlines AA 22. The angel number 22. 22 is an angel number. And think about angel numbers. We usually get some type of sighting associated with angel numbers. I'm using spiritual tools here to kind of deepen us into this whole report. Commentary. This is the way I pry into this thing. So angel numbers usually give us some type of hint of angels. Give us some type of hint of UFO. Something that's not of this earth. Something that's not of what we are accustomed to seeing. It's not of this dimension. So good possibility, the mere fact that this, whatever it was, 22, flight 2292, was right for that very moment, was right. The people who boarded was right for that very moment. Cincinnati, Phoenix, two distinct places. We'll get back off into those places later, but definitely, none least, they are distinct places. So this happened last weekend, and the weekend before March 2nd, that would be, as this article is dated. They saw something that was more than just what you would see normal in the sky. The radio transmission was intercepted accidentally by a blogger. So a blogger picked this up. Steve Douglas, shout out to Steve Douglas, who picked it up, who was using a radio scanner to pick up another aircraft. According to the audio published on Deep Black Horizon, at perfect moment, Douglas was linked with Flight 2292's radio transmission. He heard the pilot radio. So think of this. Had this blogger not at all picked up this radio transmission accidentally, do you think this story would be published publicly like this? Do you think we would have had these headlines? Do you think that I would have access to this thing to kind of give you this right now? Think about that. The mere fact that we got a civilian blogger kind of just messing around, just trying to hear what he can pick up in the air, and boom! What do we hear from Flight 2292? Radio transmission. He hear the pilot radio say, "Do you have any targets up here? We just had something go right over the top of us at 1:19 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday." So the article goes on to say, they hate to say this, but it looked like a long cylinder-like object that almost looked like a cruise missile type of a thing, moving really fast. They said this thing was moving fast, people. They said this thing was moving so fast. They said it was moving very fast, and it moved like right over the top of them. So once again, the mere fact that that the pilot, and shout out to my friends that joined me on Instagram over here as I'm going live elsewhere. Do you think had Mr. Douglas, the blogger, had said anything at all, had he not picked up this radio transmission and said and said that, like, hey, I heard what you said, Mr. Radio Pilot, from flight 2292, that you saw something that was unknown, that it was long cylinder. It was long. That's kind of, yeah. Get your mind out of the gutter. It was long cylinder like object that looked like a cruise missile, but it wasn't. And it was moving really fast, and it went right over the top of you. And we know cruise missiles just, if they really wanted to hit you, they're going to hit you, right? And they're not just going to like go right into the path of a airline. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's further dive into this article a little bit more. So Douglas, he went on to further track the flight's website to pinpoint exactly where the aircraft was at the time of the unexplained sight. And he discovered that at the altitude of 37,000 feet, the plane was over the northeast corner of New Mexico, west of Clayton, New Mexico. So Clayton, I want you to keep that name in mind, Clayton. So Clayton, if those who are familiar with any of the alien language, we oftentimes get this weird draw to, and when we look at science fiction too, there's this real weird draw to Clayton a lot when it comes to aliens. So yeah, I'll say that there's definitely got to be something going on here. That, again, 22, angel number. We're dealing with an angel number. Whenever angel numbers are present, there's usually that moment where you want to be right there in that moment where you just allow that moment to happen and make yourself open to something to happen whenever you see an angel number. But in this case, the flight has an angel number in 2292. It has an angel number in front of it. So it's a magnet for something to happen at this point. And at 37, if we was going to go further into numerology, when you add up 3 plus 7 plus 000, we get 10, which 1 plus 0 is 1. Okay, which in itself is a divine number. So let's go further. The day after the FAA released a statement about what was supposedly seen, explaining the pilot reportedly seeing an object over New Mexico shortly after noon local time on Sunday, February 21st. And look at this! February 21st, 2021. There go more angel numbers. 21, 21. FAA air traffic controllers did not see any object in the area on their radar scopes. Of course. Why wouldn't they be able to? This thing is moving hella too fast with technology that we don't possess here on Earth. And they go on to say to public knowledge. They have not been able to yet identify what these objects in the sky are. No surprise, right? And what we're hearing is that this is happening more regularly. Of course, we've been said that. You guys are just catching up to what has been said for years now. So the article says that there's usually a logical explanation. However, the U.S. government, that is, has been notorious for keeping this information classified, but they cannot keep it classified no more, especially when you got Steve Douglases of the world that are picking up the radio signals and blasting the FAA and forcing them to make statements. They have to report it. They have to make it public. There's nothing that can go hidden anymore. I think this is the biggest part of seeing this article now, is that, like, when these sightings happen, they gotta be reported now, because the government can't keep putting this stuff in the classified files anymore, especially since they have declassified a great deal of information. A lot of it was stuff we kind of knew already. The U.S. Navy went to go talk to Politico, and they said that a number of reports of unauthorized, unidentified aircraft entering various military control ranges and designated airspace in recent years to hone in on the issue. In April 2019, the U.S. Navy modified how pilots reported UFO sightings to create more of a data-driven approach, according to the New York Times. 1 month later, there were 5 reports. 5 people from Navy pilots explaining they had seen mysterious and unidentified objects in the sky, traveling at different speeds and different heights that are truly unexplainable. So then we fast forward to April 2020. 3 videos taken by Navy pilots, one in 2004 and 2 in 2015, that were released by the Pentagon, which clear up many misconceptions by the public on whether or not the footage was real or not. So all in all, last December, as we know, the COVID relief bill, also under the Intelligence Authorization Act, states that the U.S. intelligence agencies are required to disclose their findings and current searches by mid-2021 to Congress. In the coming months, there's possibilities that we could have answers as to whom has been sharing the sky with us. I think we already have the answers. Okay? You, my friend, who is a fellow ghost and UFO hunter, researcher, validator, you know the answer. And going back to just utilizing the spiritual validation of this, the angel numbers point to this. If we, there's something that's heavily tied to the creator, in my belief, the creator of this universe, that is ultimately just sending, maybe even trying to bring us all together. When I say all, I mean all life forms, because there's something mega that's going to happen on a larger scale that's beyond what we know. There's something with this earth that's changing. There's something with the universe with just this universe that's changing. And there's something beyond this universe that is changing. And I think the creator has a lot to do with what we are too small in our brain to even understand what's to come. So look out for these angel numbers, as these angel numbers You know, when I look at the angel numbers 22, 11, 11, 11, any twin numbers, you know, 21, 21, rather, you know, any combination of numbers that's together that when you look at and you say, wow, how is it? It's pretty ironic that these numbers are together, and everything is just so settling right now, and it's not. How can I best put it? Not just aggressive. Not just aggressive. Everything's peaceful. So when everything's so peaceful, everything's so settled, just take in that moment and maybe look up to the sky. Because you never know. You may get some evidence of what you've been, like me, looking for. Well, you know, I have, like, you know, I have said in previous episodes that I have had these encounters ever since the age of 5. So there's nothing new to me. But for those who are still seeking, still want to know, angel numbers gonna be a good indicator for you. Or just head down to New Mexico, because they're vacationing in New Mexico around the springtime, it seems like. So that's all I have for you folks. Let's get ready to go on out of here. Remember, if it isn't natural, it must be beyond the natural. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review this. If you are playing this back, check out our new YouTube channel, Beyond the Natural Podcast. Just spell it out just that way. Very simple. It ain't pretty right now. I got to add some nice little channel art to it and nice little profile picture. I'll do that sometime tomorrow. But in the meanwhile, check it out. Don't forget to check out our partners by heading over to transformupodcast.com. That's transformupodcast.com. Follow us on Instagram at Transform the Letter U Network. Follow me as well on Twitter at Marcus_Hart and on Instagram Marcus_Hart_official. I'm out of here, folks. I know I've said that a couple times, but I really am. Okay, bye-bye now. Have a good night.